There is no justice. This is what a person's growth starts with. It starts with, it's impossible to understand. You just need to accept it. There is no justice. There has never been. There is not now, and there never will be. Roger that? So, the first position is that there is no justice in any of its forms, social, family, economic, i.e., any. Justice doesn't exist. The second condition, the search for justice leads to suffering. The search for justice leads to suffering. The chance that you will gain a new life equals the extent of your aspiration here and now. Not for then, when I deserve the right to claim to it, but here and now to let yourself. People are not rich, not because they cannot earn, they can. It's simple, everybody can. But because they cannot allow themselves, cannot let themselves be rich. After all, to earn is problem number one. To keep and increase is problem number two. But to understand why it is necessary is problem number three, because in fact nobody needs it, except for you. Do you want to be in the lead? Yes. You will get there, but only in one case. If you throw away everything that is, you cannot say it is husk in its clear form. It's not husk, it is secondary. The essence of being in the lead is determined, in fact, only by one thing, by the ability to set and keep the priority. It's not enough just to understand what you need, but to move towards it consistently and calmly. The leader's position is this. Purposefulness implies consistency. Patience. Patience implies timeliness and pressure. Well, and unmercifulness implies prestige. A question. Is it prestigious to have a deal with you? Yes. It means you are merciless. If not prestigious to have a deal with you, it means mercy for yourself still glimmers in you. If there is mercy there, you cannot talk about love. The one who wins, becomes a leader, is not the genius, and not the most intelligent, and even not the, well, I don't know, the strongest one, but the most consistent one. Just consistent. Why? Tiredness comes late. It means you work longer than the others. You're interested. It means you become more effective than the others in the very same activity. You feel passion. It means you choose the best. It appears the thing you feel passion for, it is the index of ambition. Well, you wear this or that kind of clothes. That is an ambitious wish. To drive a more expensive kind of car than a cheaper one, yes? This is the vector for ambition. As for professionalism, this ambition shows itself in exactitude. That is, I'm not going to make it with bad materials. I'm not even going to start. A very important point. Where there is no work, there is no rest. There is the style, the way of life then. When there is no for money then, for the good of my soul is lost too. Well, for my private satisfaction, for the good of my soul. Where there is no work, there is no hobby. Well, that is, a hobby doesn't appear. It's not needed. Why? Because there's no work. There is nothing to oppose. But when there is passion and inspiration, it's impossible to stop a person. The question is in forcing oneself to make maximum money for the activity you get indescribable enjoyment from, putting all your efforts into it. Why all efforts? Because you don't get tired. But why? Because you can do it for long hours, longer, just longer than the others. It doesn't mean that a body hasn't got its physical limit, how long it can work. No, of course it has its limit, but it is obviously longer than the others. What do I do? I help to earn a lot of money, or at least more than there is in your imagination, and keep it. To change the strata of society you live in, if needed. Go to the biggest fruit and greengrocer market in your city. Buy a big, it might be big, large, Bengal nut. Go home. Cut it into 2 pieces. You may slice 1 piece and put it into the fridge. And it would be better to put the second one into the freezer. After it's been frozen, take it out of there. Then you may fry it. Very well. I advise you. Recommend it as a very good remedy. And it's also a very nourishing meal. Well, it cleans vessels very well, absolutely healthy cholesterol, absolutely balanced as to all trace elements. A wonderful meal. Moreover, the right thoughts are beginning to come to you immediately after this. Your consciousness is clearing up. The catharsis happens. Well, an enema happens, and a person begins to gush with ideas. Money begins to gravitate to him and all that sort of thing. It is extremely important to choose the large one. Small ones, their effect is still limited. Yes, they can influence very little. It's best to take a large one from the beginning. What has happened in your consciousness? A combinative model. No Bengal nut has ever existed in the world. But you have pictured it from the images you already had in your mind. And how much I wanted to taste it. It's so helpful. That's why your image is full of crap. You cannot want the things you have never seen before. Relevance is responsible for commercial success, a lot of clients. Your professionalism is responsible for a lot of clients. Quality is responsible for your professionalism. 2 things are responsible for your quality. They are talent and genius, and combination of these 2 things. From the standpoint of mind, let's call it this way. The combinative properties of mind to solve problems. You can surpass 1,000-fold all those around you. But from the standpoint of economic success, there are a lot of people who are more successful. Owing to this, it's a fact, they are more effective, more relevant, and their ideas are more precious and attractive for investing. And that's why it's not me who shows you your inefficiency in your own life. Your search has led you here, to this auditorium. The crisis has nothing to do with inability of attitude. That is to say now, on the quiet of Allah alleging some crisis, a lot of people will try to excuse their own failures with the structure of a market that has worsened. So, a very important moment is that a market lack of capability. It's when you don't have clients. Both of you have been mistaken about the segment, or you have positioned the product incorrectly, or you have chosen the wrong technology for promoting. And so this is what I call market inability. But business inability, it is when you don't know what the hell you are doing it for. When it's not clear what you are going to do after you have earned 4, 5 zeros, 6 zeros. So, this is what I tell you. If it's not clear for sure, this is what we call business inability. That's why market inability is when, roughly speaking, you shoot in the wrong direction. And business inability is when there's no sense in shooting. Life is put off till then. Life is put off till then. Till that then, when you have everything you don't have now. It's like, let's exert ourselves, let's put up with it, bring up children, and then let our native country live, and there are no other concerns. And then we will begin to live. It can't be so. If an idea requires a lot of resources, this idea is not necessarily yours. The more your idea is elaborated, the less you depend on resources. If you say you need something to realize your intention, it says it's the 100% sign of your idea being raw. If you say you need something to realize your idea, it says your idea has not been nurtured. It is still raw. Resources cry out to be taken into a project if an idea is deliberate. That's why, if you say you lack some kind of resource for that, the first and the main symptom, you have a raw idea. If you lack time, you're busy with wrong actions. The conclusion on lack, people who lack time. Do you lack time? You busy yourself with wrong things. It means you divert your attention with secondary actions, by actions that are not your business. If there gets to be plenty of time, it means your matrix of choosing priorities changes. That's why the opportunity to have plenty of time is in one thing only. You are on the top of a pyramid. There is your priority goal below you. Then there is the context, then the rest. You are at the head of the pyramid. You, the person without whom all the other levels of this pyramid lose sense. If there's no you, there's no goal. Is that right? A context can be read if put over the goal. Is that right? It means if the context cannot be read, it becomes indifferent and it becomes nothing, just soap. A door. A door is not a context. There is no goal. It either helps or hinders, or it's not my business at all. That's why a door for me is the same as a motionless object for a frog. I cannot see it. I'm not interested in it. Even if I'm very creative and I can think out how to use anything, I have one goal. Other goals are secondary. What should you fill in there? Anything you want. Some people formulate in categories of state. Something like, if I feel good. Just don't fill in the state of health, the state of happiness. There, okay? And the state of absence of wishes. A goal disciplines your mind. And as a consequence, disciplines your behavior and your body. A goal sorts and classifies everything into priority or non-priority. A goal disciplines behavior. And your goal might be the one of very many rich people. I don't want to be poor. There's no guarantee you'll become rich, but I definitely don't want to live the way I am living now. If you want money, find the sphere where you have the least experience and the most professionalism. There are no victors who have never lost. The one who is not afraid to try, who considers the cost of a mistake to be worthwhile, where a trial and consistency of steps in making attempts doesn't cost very much, and as a consequence of this, a person is ready as often as needed. Self-appraisal for a person is the extent of his current effectiveness doesn't influence his self-appraisal. He wins mainly if he wants to be successful. You should want more than you already have. What makes one move on? The increasing need to achieve. It says that no matter what I am today, I am definitely capable of more. If it is possible to earn, it is necessary to earn. There is no big or small money. If you earned $100,000 and more last month, and this month you don't get 1,000, you can lose even more. It means loss of vector to money. If you have a choice in a dilemma, more or less, it means more. If there is no and less, but you used to be cool the day before and earned a lot, bend down and take it. A metaphor. During rain, a window is covered with myriads of all kinds of tiny drops. What chance does one drop have to reach the bottom of the window, absorbing on its way? So, you are a drop, and your way is money that is lying in this chaotic way. So you should absorb all that money that lies in your path. Your way in professionalism lies in money only, and there is no other criterion. Money lies in your client's pockets. Your way lies in your satisfied clients. If I want to get winnings, I have to spend time. If I want to save time, I have to share my money. But if I'm going to earn a lot of money, I have to position my time correctly. A small corollary of this. The biggest money is only earned by oneself. Nobody is ever going to earn money for you. Can you say that it's prestigious to have dealings with you? That you are a brand, and it is prestigious to have dealings with you? I don't say profitable. Profitable is on the third level, but is it prestigious? All the people who live on the verge of the third level, when they see some girls, they say to them, "I don't feel profitable with you, girl." I ask a question whether it is prestigious to have dealings with you, whether it is profitable to give my time to you. Are you a potential winner, so that people can stake on you like they stake on a horse that is to finish first in its heat? Even a fool can earn $1 million, but only a businessman can keep it and increase it. When there are only 5 specialists of this kind in a whole country, and there are hundreds of thousands of people who are ready to use your professionalism, what kind of competition are you talking about? And your ability to let them in. How many partners are you ready to get to take part? No matter the kind of business you have, e-business, line, usual, traditional, or any other kind of business. The law of business says business is propagated by people. Ideas are only a necessary condition, but not the sufficient one. Necessary and sufficient is the person that is able to accept that idea and realize it.
through crisis to economy next.